Hello everyone. Hope everyone is good. It's Ben here. Hope you had a great Christmas. Hope you had a good New Year. Mine wasn't too bad. Worked literally for the whole of it. Worked Christmas Day, worked New Year's Eve. So yeah, worked a lot around it. So yeah, it was okay. Like I say, it's just another days. Just another days to me. Like being a bit older, being single, no kids. It's just another day for me. So I don't mind earning them pennies and getting that money in and working and stuff. Um, so yeah, hope you've all had a good Christmas and good New Year. So basically, this video is me reviewing Monday Night Raw debut on Netflix, which happened as the time is now. It happened early this morning, 1 o'clock this morning. I managed to watch some of it whilst I was at work and watch the majority of it when I got back from work. And I'm just basically going to run down the show, give my opinions on some of the stuff that happened, some of the matches, some of the vignettes, some of the cameos, all that kind of stuff, basically. Overall, I thought it was a very good show. I must admit, there was a couple of times during the show where the commentary seemed to cut out. Like Michael Cole or Pat McAfee were talking during little breaks between matches, and then it sort of cut out and you didn't hear him, and then a few seconds later you did hear him, and then you didn't hear him, and then you did hear him. But they might as well get it out of the way early doors. I think Netflix and WWE will. Bloody hell, this top just keeps looking like it's. Look at that. Fat man problems. Get this stuff out of the way, get all the mistakes out of the way. They're learning at the end of the day. Netflix hasn't had something like wrestling before. Wrestling's not been on Netflix before. So they're learning all this stuff, and they'll get it right. They'll get it right. I mean, biggest streaming brand in the world, biggest wrestling company in the world, they will get it right. So, yeah, I mean, to start off the show, it opens with a big promo, a big vignette. It was fucking ace as well. It was so cool. Basically, giving you the history of wrestling, like from where it started and how it's come up, how it's progressed through the years, and then obviously it's come to Netflix. And it was for me. It was for the newer fans to kind of understand and grasp what WWE and wrestling is all about. Like, they're not pretending it's real. They're not pretending anything like that. They're saying it's storytelling, it's an art form, it's entertainment, it's a sport. Like, they're not bullshitting us and trying to make us all think it's real. Like, they're not pretending that, which is how it should be. It's sports entertainment at the end of the day. So yeah, it was just basically showing us like all the legends. Like, there was Andre the Giant, Bruno Sammartino, Hulk Hogan, Bob Backlund, all the like Ultimate Warrior was on there. Bret Hart was on there. Like, just all the old legends, like, who I grew up watching, and even wrestlers before I was even born. And then obviously to the newer day stuff. Stone Cold, Taker, Rock, Kane. All those guys. All those guys are in the vignette, and then obviously all the new guys that are in it today. But it was quite emotional watching it, because I'm thinking to myself, like, I remember when I first started watching it, like, how old I was. I must have been like 3, 4, 5. You know what I mean? And excuse me, I got a bit of a cold because it's fucking freezing where I am. It's snowing its fucking head off. It's cold, and I'm actually going to a football match later. Going to watch my team play away at Hednesford Town in a shitty little cup. It's snowing, and I've had about 3 hours, 4 hours sleep max, and I'm going to watch football. I must be insane, but the love for Kidsgrove Athletic represent. But yeah, it was quite emotional. Just looking at like how far it's come since I've been watching it, and like people who are older than me, like, it must have been quite emotional for them to see how far it's come since they've been watching it. So for it to be on, the biggest streaming brand in the world is it's insane. But it was really cool. It was really well done. All the words were really good. The stories were great. So yeah, that's how it opened, and it was really cool, I must admit. And then the story thing was being projected on the big sheet thing. It fell, and Triple H was in the ring, massive pop. All the fans fucking love Triple H, or Levesque, or whatever you want to call him, but it's Triple H to me. And he does a big speech. He does his "Are you ready?" and he does all his thanks and where the brand's gonna go and all this kind of stuff. And then at the end he says, welcome to the Netflix era, which is really cool. Big hat tilt to Netflix for that. And yeah, it was just cool. It was just cool. Then all the pyro and then there's little vignettes and stuff. So yeah, that was cool. It's always good to see Triple H, the fucking boss man. For me, it's still a Triple H era. It's not the Netflix era. It's a Triple H era to me, and it will be until that man decides he doesn't want to do it no more. And then, what better way to start off the show with the final boss coming out, The Rock, and what an entrance it was. Had his new music, his rock music, and then into his final boss music, so he's still got that bit of heel in there, and he walks out looking fucking massive with his big nerdy glasses, and you're thinking to yourself, what kind of promo is he going to do? Is he going to do a heel promo, a face promo? Is he going to say he's entering the Royal Rumble? You just don't know. Anyway, starts speaking, and he's just ace, isn't he? It's The Rock. He's the greatest of all time on the mic, on the Mount Rushmore probably of wrestlers of all time ever. He starts thanking a load of people. He gives his the people's championship to his kids, and his mum's there and whatnot. Hugs a few people, and he hugs Cody Rhodes and all that kind of stuff. So that kind of for me, it was like, yeah, this is a face promo. In the ring, he said thank you to Cody for holding the company on his back for last year, and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, he just thanked people, and it was, to be honest, it was a very face promo. I was expecting maybe some heel stuff to go on. Maybe he might say he's entering the Rumble, or he's coming for Cody's belts, or he's going to do something with Roman. It was. I was quite surprised it was just pure face The Rock, but I suppose at the end of the day, it's the first episode on Netflix. You can't have The Rock, who, let's be honest, him and Hogan and probably Stone Cold are probably the three most well-known wrestlers in the world. So I don't suppose they can make him bad on the first episode, but time will tell. But it was a very, very good promo. As expected, it's The Rock. Guy's a legend. So it was just amazing. And to see him come out to his music and Netflix and just the way it was done, amazing. The perfect way to open up the first Monday Night Raw on Netflix. And then the next part, I might get all this in the wrong order. I'm just kind of going from what I remember, and like I say, I did kind of watch it in two parts. So if I don't get the order right, don't complain about it. It's just I'm trying to remember what order it went in, and I'm just remembering what happened, to be honest. When you do the 12-hour night shift, it's thing you can't forget things like this. But I think the next bit was Solo Sikoa versus Roman Reigns in a tribal combat rules match, which basically is just fucking anything goes, to be fair. Solo came out first, Roman came out second with obviously the Wise Man, and they were fighting for the red chili Samoan necklacey thing. I can't remember, Ula Fala or something. I can't remember what it's called. Basically, Solo wasn't gifted it by the high chiefs, but he kind of stole it off Roman when Roman lost at WrestleMania, and he's kind of been going with it, and he's been doing an amazing job. I think Solo Sikoa has had one of the best years a wrestler's had for a long time last year, 2024. And I think he's improved massively. Improved on the mic, he's improved in the ring, his character's got loads better. I think he's had a very good year, and everyone loves his music. You just see people fucking dancing to it. It's got massive on social media. But anyway, So yeah, they were fighting for that. It was a good match. Solo, I like Solo in the ring anyway. I think he's very good. I think he's very underappreciated. Reigns is obviously ace. I was kind of hoping it was just going to be one on one. Like I didn't want any interruptions. I don't think the match needed any interruptions. But obviously we got Jacob Fatu and Tonga Lower or Tamatonga. I always forget which one's which. I'm gonna say Tamatonga. They came down, did their stuff, pinned Roman, but Roman kicked out after two, obviously. Then Jimmy Uso and Sami Zayn came down. They got involved. Did their stuff on Solo, pinned Solo. Solo kicked out, and then KO came down. He stunned Roman. And then Cody came down and blah blah blah. All that shenanigans happened, and then eventually, anyway, after a bit more back and forth, Roman got the spear, got the win, got the Ulafala. I think that's what it's called. If I get it wrong, I apologise if I offend anyone as well. By the way, I pronounce it. Got it gifted to him by The Rock, one of the high chiefs of Samoa. The Rock gifted it to him, and sort of looked at each other with admiration and whatnot. So that's like the highest accolade a Samoan could get. Feel a bit bad for Solo losing because I think he I wouldn't have minded if Solo had won. I think it'd have been very, very shocking if he'd won, but it'd have been cool at the same time. But Roman winning, it just makes sense. He's not the OTC anymore. He's just a TC. He's a tribal chief. He's the original tribal chief. He's just a tribal chief. So, him winning, it made sense. And it was a good match. Solo looked good. Reigns looked good. All the shenanigans happened. All storylines still going on and whatnot. Getting gifted the red hot chili. I'll say it, red hot chili Samoan peppers. Got gifted that from The Rock. So that was cool. I was quite happy with that because it was a decent match. The next bit that happened, there was like always little segments with the New Day in where they wanted to get interviewed, but the interviewer had to keep cutting them off because no one wants to interview the New Day, no one wants to be around the New Day, and I'm liking this. Like they're just pissing the New Day off because the New Day have pissed everyone off. So it's like just frustrating them even more. It's getting them more angry. It's getting them annoyed. It's just making their heel work even better. So I'm looking forward to seeing where all this goes in the New Day. It's going to be really good. And then there was the John Cena segment. John Cena coming out to the ring, doing all his usual stuff, calling out names that he thinks people want him to face, and he's basically saying like, haven't won a match in like 2,000 days or something. I don't know. He's not in any predicament to be calling out Cody or Gunther or Punk or whoever. But then he basically says, there's lottery tickets available. There's the Elimination Chamber. There's other matches. And then he mentioned the Royal Rumble. And he was like, oh, Royal Rumble. I could enter that and win it. And like the crowd went mental. So he basically did all of his shtick. And then basically said he's entering the Royal Rumble. And then he did his little, if you want some, come get some. And basically said he's going to enter the Royal Rumble. Which is cool. It's his final year. John Cena's last ever Royal Rumble. So yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool to see John Cena in the Royal Rumble, and he's a legend. He's one of those guys you love him or you hate him. I've got a love-hate relationship with him. I like him now. I appreciate him now because I thought he got shoved down our throats a little bit. He was always winning, but then I think he goes away for a year or two or whatever, and then he comes back, and you just realise how good the guy actually is and how much WWE and wrestling itself owes John Cena. And I hope he has a really good year this year. And yeah, just looking forward to seeing what they do with him, basically. It's exciting times, and when he does eventually retire in December, it's gonna be a very sad day for wrestling fans. It'll be a sad day for me. I know I'm gonna cry because I'm a big, massive wet wipe. But the guy's been in wrestling almost all of my years watching wrestling, and you can't fault him. You can't, even if you don't like him, you gotta respect him at the end of the day. So coolest scene is gonna be in the Royal Rumble. So I'm looking forward to that. And then the next match was Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. Obviously, Liv was with Dirty Dom and Raquel, and obviously Rhea came out on her own. Good match. I thought Liv looked good. I think she gets better in the ring. Every time she's in there, she has good matches now. She's a credible champion, credible heel. She's a very, very, very good heel. Obviously, Raquel and Dom got involved. Rhea was good as always. And eventually, Rhea Ripley won. And I predicted that she'd win. Liv has had an amazing year. For me, Superstar of the Year last year, pretty much, for the female side. But, Rhea Ripley is over massively. She's the female face of WWE. I had a feeling she'd win. I think it's the right decision for her to win as well, especially on the first episode on Netflix. It was a good match as well, like very brutal. I think she did 3 altogether riptides. Liv did her Oblivion a couple of times. Storytelling was good. So yeah, Rhea won, and then Dirty Dom got in the ring, tried to give her a hug, which was funny because you knew what was going to happen. Liv kicked him in the fucking beans, gave him a riptide, which Dom took really well, by the way. And then as Rhea is going up the ramp, Undertaker's music hits. Well, the gong hits, and then the American Badass music hits. And then Undertaker comes out on his bike, does a lap of the ring, and then comes and celebrates with Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley's loving it because it's fucking Undertaker. The guy's cool as shit. And then they did the whole arm thing at the end, celebrated with Rhea. That will be something that Rhea Ripley will love, and she will remember for the rest of her life. And obviously we got to see The Undertaker on the first episode of Netflix, so that's cool, pulling out all the big guns. Really enjoyed that, and I think Rhea winning the belt makes sense. A fair play to Liv for holding it for so long and doing such a good job with building herself, her character and all that. So yeah, quite don't mind Liv losing. Bit upset she lost, but it makes sense Rhea winning, doesn't it? Let's be honest. Now the next segment didn't go how WWE probably expected it to go. Hulk Hogan comes out with Jimmy Mouth of the South Hart. Now I love Jimmy Hart. I also like Hulk Hogan as well. At the end of the day, he's probably the most famous wrestler of all time. Without Hogan, we wouldn't have what we have today. Guy's a bit of a douche, as we all know. But, he's a legend at the end of the day. Without him, we wouldn't get what we get today in the wrestling universe. The fans booed the fuck out of him, which I don't think WWE expected, because everyone thinks, it's Hogan, he's a legend, everyone should love Hulk Hogan. The fans didn't love Hulk Hogan. There's numerous reasons why the fans might have booed Hulk Hogan, but at the end of the day, he was up there, he was getting booed. I don't think he was expecting it, because he looked quite a bit shell-shocked, and if you look at Jimmy Hart, he looked a little bit shell-shocked as well. I don't think any of them were expecting to get the boos that they did, and it was very, very clear. It's very audible that the fans were booing him, and on social media it's been going off, that the fans were booing him. So it was a bit of a excuse me, it was a bit of a surprise, I think, to WWE, Hogan, Jimmy Hart, that he got booed as much as he did. Obviously he was promoting WWE and Netflix, and he did his whole rip his shirt thing and what you gonna do, brother, and just the usual Hogan shit. I actually saw that he was announced to be on Raw, and I was kind of surprised, because I kind of had a feeling that he might not get a very good reception. I wasn't sure, because at the end of the day, I do think the guy's a bit of a tool, but at the same time, he's also a legend. If I was in the arena, I'd probably cheer him, but I don't blame anyone for booing him at the same time. So yeah, that segment was quite awkward to watch, but also I found it quite funny. He got booed as loud as he did. But I suppose that's a risk you take, and Triple H isn't daft. I don't think he'll maybe book Hulk Hogan anytime soon. So then, the next match was main event Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre. Jey Uso's entrance was absolutely insane. The crowd was going mental, yeeting everywhere. He came down with, apparently he's a rapper. See, this is where I'm going to show my age and like how uncool I am and not up to date with things. He came down with apparently a rapper called Travis Scott. I don't know who that is. He was holding the hardcore title, which is dead random, and he was smoking a spliff. What looked like a spliff. I might be wrong, but it looked like he was smoking a spliff. He offered Jey Uso a bit of a spliff, and thankfully he said no. That could have been a completely different story, but yeah, them two came down. Pat McAfee and Michael Cole were bloody yeeting, got on top of the announce table. They were both yeeting. Michael Cole says he was out of breath, then got back up on the table, carried on yeeting. Then Travis came down with Jey Uso, got on the tables, they were yeeting. It was just, the entrance was absolutely incredible, as Jey Uso's entrance always is. But yeah, they had drones flying in, like looking around the crowd yeeting, and McAfee and Cole and Travis. Oh, it was just mint. Like, the entrance was amazing. It was like I swear it was like 10 minutes long as well, but it was so cool. Then Drew come in, Jay flew out the ring, attacked him, blah blah blah. Anyway, the match was good. It always is. Jey Uso's solid in the ring. McIntyre's an absolute monster. Claymores, feed shock DDTs, super kicks, Uso splashes. Like, it was a good match, and the ending was really cool because Jey Uso collapsed in the ring, and Drew was like, get up, and then he Jey Uso crucifix pinned him and got the one crucifix roll up, 1, 2, 3. Cool ending. Like, I wanted Drew McIntyre to win. I think he needed to win, but I think it's going to set up a storyline where Drew's going to lose his mind, and he's going to start like going crazy and getting pissed off when he loses, and he's just going to unleash on anyone and everybody. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Drew now. I think he's just going to turn into an animal. He's just going to fucking smash the shit out of everyone. So the match itself was great. The coolest part was probably Jey Uso's entrance. But yeah, it was decent. I liked that. I liked that match. It was good. Then we had a bit of a segment with The Miz. He was on talking to one of the interviewers. Then Karrion Kross, Scarlett Bordeaux. Seeing Scarlett Bordeaux is never a bad thing, by the way. She looked amazing, as always. Came out, and Karrion Kross was like trying to convince The Miz to help him fight the Wyatt Six. So Karrion Kross was like, "You're The Miz, aren't you? Yeah. You're a 2-time Grand Slam champion, aren't you? Yeah. You're main eventing WrestleMania. Yeah. So you're going to help us fight the Wyatt Six? Yeah. Oh, wait, no." So he like tricked him. And it was dead funny because I love The Miz. Like, the guy's so underappreciated. He's a future Hall of Famer. You just can't not like The Miz. And then they went, and The Miz was like, "Well, looks like I'm fighting the Wyatt Six." Then he started talking about how he beat John Cena, and he can beat him again, and he can eliminate him for the Royal Rumble. And then he did his whole, because I'm The Miz and I'm awesome, which he is. I fucking love The Miz. Guy's amazing. And yeah, it was just a cool segment. And then we got to the main event. The main event was Seth freaking Rollins versus CM Punk. Now, Seth's entrance, ace, as always, came out in this like crazy outfit, but it wasn't like too mental, too camp. It was just like, it was cool, just looked cool. And obviously then CM Punk came out, crowd loved CM Punk and blah blah blah. Very, very good match. Match of the year. I know, we're only like 6 days into it. But anyway, back and forth. Seth hit some GTSs. Punk hits a stomp. There's a couple of pedigrees. There's loads of close falls. It was just It was a very hard hitting, emotional, fantastically well um, led. Like the storyline throughout the match was brilliant. Like you generally think these two fucking hate each other. Obviously, we don't know if they really do in real life. Personally, they probably both like each other. But yeah, it was just a good match. Like I thought it was going to end in a bit of a DQ because I think both of them needed the win. Um, but it was a good match. CM Punk got the win in the end. He hit, I think Rollins did a springboard superplex and then rolled over to get Punk into the Falcon Arrow, but Punk got him into the GTS. So Rollins sort of staggered in the ropes and then turned and fell onto Punk right into his arms, picked him up. Another GTS, gets the win. Great match. I didn't know what to expect with Punk because, with his age, he's had some good matches with Drew, but he doesn't wrestle that much. So obviously, I always think he might be a little bit rusty in the ring. Seth's absolutely incredible, one of the best ever in the ring. So I know he's going to perform well. But that match was really, really good, and it was worthy of a main event, 100%. I mean, if you think about it, there's a championship in there. You've got Solo versus Reigns in there. Those are two, main event matches. But Punk and Rollins smashed it, and it was a good main event, and a really just a really good way to close out the debut premiere Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Those two boys just fucking smashing it, and I don't think it's the end for those two storyline. I do think they're going to push Punk to try and main event a WrestleMania this year. I don't think he's going to win the Rumble, but I am going to do a video on my Royal Rumble predictions when more of the matches are announced, and I do my Royal Rumble men's winner, female winner, match winners. I'm just going to do that as well. But all in all, I thought Raw and Netflix smashed it. The pyro was good. The videos were good. I thought when they did the breaks, they did them at the right time and they weren't really long. There were celebrities there. There was current wrestlers there. There was old wrestlers there. I mean, I just have to mention this because obviously I don't review like Raw and SmackDown ever really. Obviously I had to do it for the debut on Netflix, but I mentioned on my last video that I thought Tiffany Stratton was going to have a big year. Well, I was right. She cashed in on Nia Jax and became the women's champion. Much deserved. She's getting cheered now, so it's going to be interesting to see if WWE turn her into a face. I think she's a face now, but she also could be a heel because she's been heel majority of a run till the last month or so. But I think they're going to keep her as a face, and I think she's going to be a good champion, a very deserved champion. She always has good matches. She's a good character. She's good on the mic, and I think to have her, Chelsea Green, and Rhea Ripley as the female champions, and obviously you got your tag champions as well, but those guys as the singles champions, I think is brilliant, and it makes sense to have those guys as champions as well. But yeah, on a whole, Raw on Netflix, brilliant. A few little things they need to tweak, I think, but on the whole, I think it was a very, very good debut show. It felt like a WrestleMania, to be honest. It was mental, like with all the big stars there. You had Hogan, Taker, The Rock, Cena. They had all the vignettes and all the celebrities. It was a very, very WrestleMania feeling. So, be interested to see how they follow up from that on Monday next week. I think they've got to get back to filling in some storylines and doing that. It won't be as good next week. I mean, it'll be. I think it'll be better, as in the production will be better because they'll learn from the mistakes that happened or whatever from this week. But I mean, there won't be all the big guns on there. It'll be back to normal Monday Night Raw storytelling and good matches. A bit gutted Pentagon Jr. didn't debut on Raw on Netflix, but I think he's obviously facing Chad Gable next week, which will be a fucking great match because Chad Gable's absolutely incredible. I really want that guy to win a championship of some sort this year. He deserves it. He's over. You hate him. Like, a lot of people fucking hate him, like, but you're supposed to. Me personally, I love the guy. I think he's amazing. He's superb in the ring. And him versus Pentagon Jr. will be a really, really good match. I just hope they use Pentagon right. They don't make him into, just a normal Mexican luchador and then he'll join Rey Mysterio and the LWO and that's like, no, I want that guy to be a fucking monster and just kick shit out of everyone and be on his own. And, hopefully Phoenix can join him in a few months and they can be a tag team and they can win tag belts and all that. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But, yeah, that's my rundown on Monday Night Raw debut on Netflix. I watched the post-show interviews and stuff like that. Like, nothing too major was said about on that. But, yeah, really good. A highlight of the night for me. Jey Uso's entrance, definitely. That was a highlight for me. Seeing Taker was a big highlight as well. But all in all, solid 8.5 out of 10. I think they did really, really well. And I'm looking forward to seeing how it continues, basically, into the run-up to Royal Rumble, which is in 3 weeks, I think. Or a month or so. Either way, it's going to be fucking awesome. Royal Rumble's always good. As long as we don't know who's going to win and it's not predictable. But I will do a video on that. And, see if any of you guys agree with me closer to the time. Anyways, I'm going to go and put my thermals on because I'm an old man and it's fucking freezing outside. It's actually snowing. And get ready to go to football. So, I hope you have a good week, good rest of the week. Much love. Keep watching wrestling. NWO for life. And, yeah, it's just been nice chatting to you all. So, enjoy your week. And I will see you on the flip side. Whoop whoop.